to deport all of Gaza. We're gonna deport all of Gaza. Every day I will be really happy if we send them all to Qatar. Yes, you were saying?
Yeah. So, as you know, Daniel Bordman is a very hyper person. Let me everyone know about what it is to live with Daniel Bordman, because I've lived with Daniel Bordman now for 30
A month now.
30 days. So he's a very hyper guy, but this is even hyper by Daniel Bordman standards.
I was telling Kushal before this, like, this is the second greatest day in history, behind Pager Day, because Pager Day was followed up by Walkie Talkie Day. And if you had seen me on Pager Day, it was like the level I'm at now times 2 for a whole week straight, just when all of the Hezbollah guys got their dicks blown off. That was a great time. And every time I see one of those propaganda interviews with like a Hezbollah guy with like no eyes and being like, blah, 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 I can't do, I just start laughing. It fills me with so much joy to look at a emaciated Hezbollah loser. But more joyful than that is to listen to these Trump press conferences. And the minute he said, like, oh, there's some great beachfront property in Gaza, I was like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? And then today he's like, I'm doing it. F it, we're going there. And this is...
So let's play the press conference, okay?
So you can all be as happy as I am.
Let's play the press conference. This was the press conference. Let's listen to the President Trump. This was the press conference.
Instead of having to go back and do it again, the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years. I'm hopeful that this ceasefire could be the beginning of a larger and more enduring peace that will end the bloodshed and killing once and for all. With the same goal in mind, my administration has been moving quickly to restore trust in the alliance and rebuild American strength throughout the region. And we've really done that. We're a respected nation again. A lot's happened in the last couple of weeks. We are actually a very respected nation again.
So as you guys hear, what President Trump basically says over there, the key bit of his speech was that the US will take over the Gaza Strip and we will do a job with it. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site and getting rid of the destroyed buildings, create an economic development that will supply unlimited number of jobs and housing for the people of the area. I'm hoping that this ceasefire could be the beginning of a larger and more enduring peace that will end the bloodshed and killing once and for all. With the same goal in mind, my administration has been moving quickly to restore trust in the alliance and rebuild American strength through the region. Now, what does this mean? Like, is America invading Gaza?
No, I mean, so what this is saying is essentially, it's this thing like, okay, all the Palestinians are going back home, right? If they're refugees and they're the world's biggest refugee camp, then, right, if Jabalia and Jenin are refugee camps, then your refugee camps are moving along, right? They're going to Egypt, they're going to Jordan. He can say that because Egypt and Jordan are totally subsidized by the U.S., and you've seen Trump's already willing to just withdraw U.S. aid nonsense funding. And Sisi's regime and King Abdullah survived purely on U.S. backing, and they've made deals with the U.S. and Israel for this backing, and they've never kept their sides of the deals. They've done it on paper, but always undermined the deals and been sort of Arabs and seeing what they could get away with, and pushed and pushed and pushed. And now Trump's basically saying, okay, you haven't lived up to your point of the deal. You want billions. Here's where it comes from. And so now he's going to force either the Egyptians to do it or the Jordanians. My dream scenario, if I have a dream, if President Trump is listening, Qatar. So just drop them all in Qatar.
No. So listen to what Trump said. this is for real. And look at BB's facial expression. You're gonna laugh your
Oh,
ass
it was
off.
so funny when I was watching PB.
So listen to this.
How
I'd like to
many
see that.
people are you thinking about?
All of them. I mean, we're talking
All of the
about
guys.
probably 1,000,007 people, 1,000,007, maybe 1,000,008. But I think all of them, I think they'll be resettled in areas where they can live a beautiful life and not be worried about dying every day.
So what essentially he's saying is that find a new home.
Yeah.
Like it's not that simple, right?
But listen, every time the border with Egypt opens up, tons of gas, as many gas as I can pour out. The problem with the Gazan immigration problem is in order to get out of Gaza, you usually need, right now it's like $5,000 US around that. You need like thousands of dollars US, but you also need to be connected to Hamas to get to bribe your side of the border, and you need to be connected to the Egyptians or have some connection to the other side. So only the very well-connected Gazans end up getting out. So the ones that end up getting out, if you're connected to Hamas, they're the Hamasniks. So the normal, it's very hard for your normal peace-loving, socially well-adjusted Gazan to get out of Gaza because they're not in the Hamas inner circle. So you have this, thing where the Palestinians end up exporting their most crazy people, who are connected back to Hamas. They are managed to get them into the West and do all this nonsense, and you don't get the normal ones. And none of the Arab countries want them because they want to use this as a wedge against Israel. And then they realize that they created the world's most radicalized population. So Trump's basically saying, all right.
So is this a fair map?
No, there's no such thing as the West Bank. It's Judea and Samaria, and that will be Israel too. And if listen, my thing has always been this, and I think this is where Trump is going. The only solution to the Palestinian problem is one, that's not the West Bank, it's Judea and Samaria. Don't tell me Hebron is ancient Palestinian land. They stole it in 1929 by murdering all the Jews there and kicking them out. Listen, the thing to the Arabs there, the Muslims, is if you don't want to live in Israel or live beside Israel or do that, and you don't want to live there, you can leave. If you want to live in peace with Israel and be part of society, you can stay. If you want to fight the forever war and the grand jihad, you can die. That's three options. Leave if you want to get out of there. If you want to stay and live in peace, live in peace. If you want to fight the forever war, hot lead to the head. And that's the only solution.
So Bibi Netanyahu says he's the greatest friend. Trump is the greatest friend Israel has ever had. This is his exact words.
I've said this before.
Between Trump and Cyrus the Great.
I'll say it again. You are the greatest friend Israel has ever had in the White House.
So those are his words, not mine. Before somebody accuses me of misquoting Bibi Netanyahu, he literally said that. Exact quote. You are the greatest friend Israel has ever had.
In modern history, yes. The only other world leader you could argue on the level with Trump is Cyrus the Great, founder of the Persian Empire, who, after the Jews, the first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians and they were oppressed in modern day Iraq. And he destroyed Babylonia and let the Jews go back to Israel, rebuild the temple, and then live as a vassal state of the Persian Empire. And that was known as a very peaceful coexistence time. And, Cyrus the Great he's thought well of in the Bible, quite well of. But the only other person you could argue in all of human history who has been a better friend to the Jews is you have to go back to the founder of the empire, Cyrus the Great, who wrote the first ever human rights, religious freedom charter that there was. So those are some pretty, right? If that's your historical comparison is Cyrus the Great or Donald Trump, then yeah, I would say yes, he's obviously the best friend of the Jews in the last 2,000 years.
I have to play this one clip. This is the greatest moment of the press conference. The Afghanistani lady. Why is Trump like this? Why is he? I just have to play this 40-second clip for pure cinema.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And just look at Bibi Netanyahu's expressions. Bibi Netanyahu is like,
are you able to recognize Taliban? Because I'm an Afghan journalist, Afghan suffered woman. Any comment about Afghanistan? What's your future plan for Afghan people, especially Afghan?
I have a little hard time understanding you. Where are you from? No. Actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand the word you're saying. But I just say this. Good luck. Live in peace. Go ahead.
I don't understand a word you said, but it sounded nice. I like it all live in peace. It's so next level Trump. He's like back in like 2015. You guys remember 2015, 2016? You say Trump says that, anyone says that, it's like CNN's like the apocalypse just happened. Donald Trump did a racism. How could this be? And now it's just like, all right, everyone lols. Even Brian Stelter said something funny. I'm not sure if it was intentional or unintentional. I showed you that. It was like out condoms in Gaza, in condos in Gaza. I'm like, did Brian Stelter just say something funny? And what a great world we live in. What a great world. Trump 2.0 is, listen, advice out there for the homies. Don't try and kill Donald Trump. It doesn't go well for your cause. Like, I'm like, actually no, because like someone did die in that, but like, yeah, it was clearly a mistake by the forces of evil, whether it would have been the Islamic Republic of Iran or the the flight list to Epstein Island. You shouldn't have tried to kill Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is governing like a man who almost got shot in the head and is like, F it, we're going there, we're doing it, we're pulling the trigger. And this is like, I think what Donald Trump has been great for like maybe like there's 10% of the world's population that isn't, I think, even capable of thinking like this, that you can just do things. Oh, we can't do it because that's not the way it's done. Kushal, you don't understand. India can't just like say no to like, some lunatic in Bangladesh. Yes, you can. You can do whatever you want. As long as it's reasonable. Like, yeah, you could just do it. Like, okay. Like, that's why I like Modi. You can't build the Ram Mandir. People, yes, you can. Yes, you can. We did. You can. We did. And everyone's better for it. All right, moving on.
But Jagmeet Singh says,
oh, no, Jagmeet. No!